I wanted to figure out, is there more to this horrible feeling of feeling like a loser? Can I change this? And once you figure out I have the ability, not through your mom or your dad or through a special school, through you. You have the ability to change this. That's what makes it so mad. Once people put this title on me, you now give yourself a get out of jail free card and say, oh, he's just crazy, he's special, he's unique, he's this and that. You just saved yourself.
From not having to do the work.
From not having to do the work.
Yeah.
And that's why I want people to hear my story. I'm trying to take away all that bull crap that you want to put on me. I'm trying to make you suffer up here to know, what, my God, man, he really had a hard way to go.
Wow.
There was nothing special about him. He wasn't talented. He wasn't gifted. He wasn't nothing. He wasn't nothing, and he made it. I want everybody to feel uncomfortable around me. That's it. Because I want you to go home and think about yourself.
Yeah.
Think about yourself, man, because you're leaving so much on the table for the possibilities of what you can be. The first 5 hours of my day, I am very uncomfortable. First of all, every morning I get up and people think I love to run. I don't.
That's why you do it.
That's why I do it. And people don't understand the mentality. Oh, you had to love it, man. No. Running has changed my life. Because every morning I know I'm going to do it. If you know every morning you do something you don't like, every morning I'm going to do it for, and guess what? If I just ran for an hour a day is 24 hours, right? What percent is that? What's 1 hour over 20? Was that 4%?
Yeah.
A small percent. But anyway, that's why I know I'm at a high level, because I'm at a not wanting to be uncomfortable. I put myself in the dungeon every day, off jump, out of bed, it starts. While most people lose the battle in the morning, like once you leave your beautiful house, the war starts. Nowadays it starts before you leave home. The phone rings, social media's up, the world's attacking you. If you don't control what you can to build that armor, so in the morning time, what I'm doing is I'm building my armor. It gets broken every night. I get up in the morning time, I start to build the armor, let's run. I build the armor. I face the world. Because now I know there's going to be some disappointments along the way every day.
Yeah.
So that's life. But if you face disappointments already in victory, the things I can control is I can control my run. Mm-hmm. I can control how my house looks, how my world is. I can control that. So I've won. Open my door of life. Life starts to beat me down. But I'm facing it with the body armor that I created.
Yes.
And now I'm facing life with the proper tools. Unlike, I hit the snooze button, I'm running late, my house is a mess, my mind's a mess. Now life's already beat you. So you open the door and now life hits you and you're already frustrated. You're already in that anxiety mode. You're stressed already. And then life starts to pile more on top of you. You get home, you're exhausted. And that's how life happens to everyone. You have to live and win what you can and build the body armor. Start callousing the mind so you're ready for combat outside of your house.
I used to not be patient at all. My life made me so anxious. My anxiety was so high from my fight or flight muscle. That's what that psoas is. That psoas is your fight or flight muscle. Once again, please study it. Once I started stretching out, so you know how I talked about reflection? How a lot of us, we don't take those small moments and like, my God, I lost 3 pounds this week. We're gonna lose 106 pounds in 1 week. Having my mind and my body being the way it was, so much anxiety, through stretching out, I am very calm now. So now, yes, I'm very patient. I have to be very patient because I'm going to fail a lot more in life because my goals and my standards of life are very high. With that being said, I will fail a lot more. With that being said, I better be very patient because I will succeed. But I have to be patient to figure out the equation to all of this. And like I tell people sometimes, what changed my life, one thing that changed my life was I was a big believer, or I used to love watching Rocky. Rocky won, round 14, Rocky won. Rocky gets knocked down the 14th round. Apollo's beating the shit out of Rocky. Apollo turns around with his hands up in the air, thinks he finally knocked out this gladiator. And what I love about that scene is that I saw this movie at one of the worst times in my life growing up as a kid. And what I saw was this guy getting up when even his own trainer was saying stay down. That scene is about 2 minutes and 13 seconds long. And all I'm trying to give people, that 2 minutes and 13 seconds changed my mentality, how I look at things. Hopefully through the story you all hear, hopefully through my book, I will provide you that 2 minutes and 13 seconds to change your life. Not saying life is bad, but we can always be better. So we're always looking for that 2 minutes and 13 seconds to be better, to find more. And you never know what kind of form it's going to come in. It comes in all kinds of forms. It may come in a movie. It may come in just one person saying the dumbest thing to you. You say, my God, that made the most sense. So always be open-minded to that 2 minutes and 13 seconds that could change your life.
I want to be an Air Force pararescueman. And so I couldn't even swim. And in special operations, I didn't even know this. There's only 1% of African Americans in special operations, totality-wise, as far as Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, Green Berets. My grandfather was in the military for about 30-some years. Mm-hmm. And I was obsessed with the military growing up, just obsessed with the uniform. And I knew that was my way out, the military, but I didn't know you had to actually be intelligent. I thought it was just about push-ups and sit-ups. So to be a pararescueman, they gave you this warning packet. It was a warning order. And after I passed the ASVAB test, they gave me this packet. It was like, okay, like a training packet. Push-ups, sit-ups, flutter kicks, all these different things. The very last page talked about swimming. I figured I'm a pretty good athlete. Swimming is easy. I'm negative buoyant. So why there's not a lot of African Americans in special ops? Because over 70% of African Americans are negative buoyant, which means they sink. And it's not due to muscle mass, it's due to bone density.
That's right.
So when I went to the pool, I tried to float. That's the first thing you have to do is learn, just learn to float. I sank like a lawn dart. I'm at the bottom of the pool, walking the bottom of the pool. So this lifeguard came over and says, hey, I can help you out. I've taught thousands of people how to swim. He tries to help me out. I lawn dart the bottom of the pool again. And when I come back up, he says, man, you're screwed. That's when he started talking to me about negative buoyancy and stuff like that, how hard it is to stay above water. Sure. So I put the same work ethic into my learning as I did in the swimming. Yeah. A few months later, I was swimming. And then I go off to pararescue school. So my whole thing was the military was my way to find self-esteem. I had to start building on something. And I started building on, education. Then I had to start learning how to find mental toughness. And this is where I started finding it was in the military.
Life is one big mind game.
Yeah.
And you're playing it with yourself. Is it true? I don't care. It got me through the hardest training, starting out broken. Where most people quit, I had just started.
Wow.
And when you take that mindset and you learn to flip that around, that's what made me powerful. And my body followed. And 3 months later, my stress fractures were healed by running on them.
Calcifying it, just like.
I never had them since. I'm 43 years old.
Wow.
I ran 7,000 miles in 2007. Haven't had a stress fracture since. And I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying that when the mind and the body connect, and you don't give yourself a way out. The only way out for me at that time was death.
Wow.
I'm going to be a Navy SEAL.
Or I'm going to die.
Or I'm going to die trying.
Yeah.
Period. And my body said, Roger that. We're going to get you through this. It's a life that no one, and I'm not talking about go out there and kill yourself. Don't take these words and flip them and say, oh my God, no. I was in a spot that life forced me. I had a choice. I had a choice to be this guy or the guy that's in front of you. I had choices. I chose this path.
And you're still choosing it.
And I'm still choosing it.
You can go back to that guy at any moment.
Because I found out something with those stress fractures. I found out something through facing all these things. I found out a whole nother world, which is why I walk around with all my stuff in a black backpack.
Wow.
I found out a whole nother way of no matter how far you get in life, you have to be able to go back to scratch in your mind at a moment's notice. You can never get so far beyond scratch. What that means is when you accomplish something in life, if you want to go back to scratch and go back to that $7 a month place where I once lived and visit that place for a long period of time, if you were here when you went back to scratch, you would now be here. Scratch is what makes you better. Scratch, friction, obstacles create growth. There's no friction when you're this far up in the game anymore. You think there is.
When you've achieved,
that's right. When you achieve so much, the friction is minor. Because why? I'm sore. I'm gonna get a massage today. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat today. The refrigerator is always full. So your comforts are now, so your discomfort is now very minuscule to your discomfort back here in the $7 a month place. Well, the thing about it is, like, it can't hurt me was, I call it your bachelor's degree. It was the very basic nuts and bolts about how to get up and stop feeling sorry for yourself. And the funny thing about it is that most people who hear me, they hear me cuss all the time. They hear me cuss, they hear me going off, carry the boats, carry the log. They hear all this hoopla, but they don't understand, man. There's a very, very, very philosophical side of David Goggins. And that's the side that book right there, Never Finished, gives them, is that that's the real me. Like what they see me in a 1-minute video when I'm hyped up. And the whole idea about that 1-minute video is that I'm trying to get you off the couch. And I don't have 10 to 20 minutes to give you some great philosophy about why we need to get off the couch. I just need to spark your ass off that couch. But when I write these books, I'm able to go deeper. I'm able to grab your attention, hold it, make you sit there and simmer on some of these thoughts. So my whole life is not some big hoopla pep rally. My whole life is about going into the dungeon and going into that area where I can go through all this and become a philosopher. I really am a philosopher, man. A philosopher about the mind, about how far we can go. And the first book didn't do that. And I did it on purpose because no one knew who David Goggins was. So I'm not going to give you Never Finished first because I haven't really gone out here and told you who David Goggins is. So now they knew who I was, and now I can bring it to the next level. And what's funny about that, my friend, the third book that no one's even heard about, that's almost done, it puts that book to shame.